Welcome to BAFDraft episode 55 with your host,
Matt Zerby.
And your co-host,
Rob Flowers.
And I'm co-host number 2, and the sound guy producer.
I like how you gave yourself a promotion there.
I have to. I'm still on here chatting. It's been bugging me all week.
I know it has. I know. You told me, you're like, oh, I want to be a co-host too.
No, it's not about that. It sounds weird when people, like, why does he not call himself the co-host when he's on there talking just as much as they are?
Well, I mean, even the radio shows back home, they don't call him co-host. They just call him, this is their producer.
That's
why I thought.
usually,
producer to me sounds like a real title. Like I'm just a guy who sits in the middle.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm the Lucky Pierre of this podcast.
Yeah. He likes to ski.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
All right, so let's get started.
Okay, so we're going to go right into podcast talk, and I actually thought about a lot about this today.
Okay.
So,
all right, awesome. So for the podcast talk, basically what we're going to do is we want to talk about the length of the podcast. So Gary's been saying that our podcast is going a little bit long, and some people are complaining about it. So, Gary?
Okay, so nobody was complaining but me.
Okay.
So,
wait, I mean, you're just
typical.
the co-host. You're just the co-host.
Yeah,
what
typical.
Does it matter? Wait, are you the producer or the co-host?
I'm both. I can wear more than one hat, okay? So, I spend a lot of time. I spend more time, about 5 times the amount of time afterwards doing the podcast than I do during the podcast.
Right, exactly. Well, this is why we had you as producer.
Okay, so, we tended to go a little bit longer in the last 2 episodes once we started getting Rob on, because I guess we just chat more, you know what I mean, which is a good thing. Now, going back and thinking about it after I edit it, I think it's actually right at the perfect spot. But I was looking at statistics and what other podcasts do. Like, basically, the general rule of thumb is if you're doing a bi-weekly podcast, you're looking at a bi-weekly 60 minutes to 90 minutes. If you're looking at a weekly, 45 minutes to 60 minutes.
Okay.
And then and on there it said if you're doing it once a year, you're not a podcast. And then I was looking at all the podcasts. I think
episode 55 sort of proves that. So we're good on that one.
Okay. Episode 55 proves what?
We're not doing a once-a-year podcast.
Yeah. But I was just making a joke. I thought it was funny in that article. So, but I looked at the podcasts I listen to, because I listen to about 7 different podcasts.
Right.
And they range, the ones I like the most are about an hour and a half. I don't like when I see it, like when the new one comes out, and I'm like, they only did a 35-minute one. I hate that. I want to hear them talk.
Right.
But I enjoy all those. And then there's some, like, I just stopped listening to, like, those conspiracy guys.
Yeah.
Like, they're 4-hour-long podcasts, and they never really come to a point.
That's a conspiracy podcast. How could they ever come to a point?
Well, they just talk
about... If they did, it wouldn't be a conspiracy podcast.
They don't really have a side or anything. It's really weird. I just got kind of bored with it. It's humorous, and I enjoy listening to it. You know, it's funny. And they're Irish, so it's even more funny with the accent. So, but I was looking at what is that podcast that we watch? Limited Resources, and they were doing they do about an hour, 15 minutes, hour 20, sometimes under an hour.
Yeah.
And then we're actually right on point.
Okay.
I will just like when we do these 3-pack things, they tend to go long. So if they get crazy, like 2-hour plus, then I'll have to split it into 2. You know what I mean?
All right.
And let us know what you think too. Are we too long? We're too short? Do we need more podcasts? We want to hear from what you have to say.
Yeah, I mean, since you guys are really the ones that matter. I mean,
exactly.
we can have opinions all day long. I mean, Gary does all the time, and then we have no idea if they're right or wrong, if they're what you guys want, or if we're just completely pulling stuff out of our back flesh pocket.
Yeah, I basically figure everything out by intuition, so
right.
Yeah.
And it could be wrong or misguided.
So I mean, yeah, just let us know, even a quick comment and say it's too long, and Gary's right on the money, or Gary doesn't know what he's talking about, and we'll go from there.
I have been putting time spots on there, and I will be doing that on everything. Anytime you look at the info on the bottom of the YouTube page, or on the SoundCloud, or in the iTunes description, it'll show, well, if you just want to hear the Pack One Pick Ones, you can go here. If you just want to hear the what we did for the week here, or whatever other topics, I'll put those time points on there. And this is where we're closing out. So now they have that option if they want to skip to it.
Cool.
So, and then that's it about the podcast. One of the rules of podcasting is you're not supposed to talk about your podcast on the podcast. That is a rule.
By who? The podcast society?
The podcast
is it a rule by the podcast people you listen to about podcasting?
Exactly.
So they have a whole podcast about a podcast.
No, I don't.
That tell you not to talk about
I
the
don't
podcast.
listen to podcasts about podcasts. I've been on listened to several podcasts where they'll bring up stuff and say, yeah, normally.
No. Okay, so here's my view and stance on this. Right.
Okay.
This is us three talking.
We can do whatever we
because
want.
Because we can only talk one way. We need to hear feedback, and this is us saying
our
point of view and
great.
why we want feedback from.
Yeah.
No.
And I'll put that in the notes
100%.
too. I want people to say on this podcast, yeah, what about this topic?
Yeah, absolutely.
Lead stuff. Okay, so the
Hour
long-awaited for
of Devastation.
HOU packs. We got packs.
They even crinkle better because they're new.
Yeah.
They sound better. All right, Gary.
So I mean, yeah,
Our
we'll
co-host too, producer.
yeah, we'll start
look
left
how
side.
easy it opens. This
Oh jeez, here we go.
All right. Oh yeah.
Jeez.
Oh no.
It's like he's brand new at
that's
this or
the comment
something.
right there.
Yeah, but you pull it face down and then pull the comment out. Come on.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So I don't see the next
Sweet.
one. Okay, cool.
Sweet
My
malarkey.
first one is Puncturing Blow. Is 2 in a red. It's sorcery. Puncturing Blow deals 5 damage to target creature. If that creature would die, exile it instead. That's actually a really good
Oh my
card.
god.
That is amazing. The only problem with it, their only downside, if there is a downside, is that it's red and sorcery speed. But boo-hoo, I'm complaining about.
Yeah.
4 for 5 and exiles it?
Yeah, so that gets rid of all the gods.
Well, and that's the whole
Well,
thing, is that these are how you get rid of those gods.
Exile, Gary.
If that creature would die this turn. Yeah, but aren't the gods indestructible?
No.
No, Gary.
Oh, I
new-
thought some
the
of them
new-
were
the
indestructible.
new-
No, the
gods-
new ones.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I'm thinking.
We
of, okay.
literally just did this last week.
No, I know that, but there are indestructibles in the last set as well.
Yeah, in the
That are
last
gods,
set.
and that's going to be incorporated in your third pack. So
And right here, neither the false pharaoh, god pharaoh, nor his bugs will decide our fate.
yeah, but no, that's an amazing card. That's like
Oh, yeah.
it's
Yeah,
gonna. I
huge.
got a feeling it's gonna be hard to beat that. We'll see. I don't know. That's removal, man.
I mean, there's a lot of power in this set just
Yeah.
from the stuff
All
that
right.
we looked at.
There we go. Spellweaver Eternal. It's 1 in a blue. It's a creature, zombie, naga, wizard. I like these where they're zombies and wizards. And a naga is 3 type. Is that a common thing? I guess we'll see. I know I saw that before when we were doing previews on other cards. So it has prowess. It's a 2/1, and it has afflict 2. So when afflict 2 is whenever this creature becomes blocked, defending player loses 2 life.
That's
Right,
not,
right, and it happens before. It happens at the declared blocker step, before combat damage or anything else is
So
done.
removing it
just,
from
boom,
combat
automatically
doesn't
happens.
matter.
It's already been assigned.
Yeah, gotcha.
As soon as it's declared as a blocker, boom, damage is assigned.
I don't know how I feel about those cards. I mean, a 2/1 for 2 of prowess is still pretty good.
It's aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It hits
super
them
aggressive.
Even if they block it. Let's say even if they block it to trade, they're still taking 2 points of damage.
yeah.
Um,
I think that's going to be a new, especially if they've got a lot like that in blue. I think that'll be a big way to really push an aggressive game with a blue-red. You know, because you're
Yeah.
still dealing the 2 damage, and it only costs you 2. So I mean, that's still a really good deal to me.
well, they can then block it, thinking that they're going to just trade, and then you can prowess to pump it up a couple times.
Oh yeah.
So if you look at the art, you see the bluish
Snake tail.
color. No, the bluish color of
Yeah.
the snake.
Okay.
This is Lapizulus armor that they're wearing.
Lapis.
No,
Like
it's Lapizulus.
Okay, whatever.
It's this specially mined thing that they've been doing behind the wall of
The Heckma or whatever.
yeah, behind the Heckman wall that they've been doing for Bolus.
It's kind of got
basically.
a purplish look to it, like a hue.
Yeah, well, they've been armoring up all the zombies. So anytime you see the zombie in these sets, the Naga Warrior zombie or Naga Wizard zombie. So this was one of the champions that actually completed the games,
Okay.
got to the end, and at the very end was like, okay, I completed it now. Kill me, and then the gods would kill them, and then they take their body and they send them through on the ocean. So Bolus was literally harvesting the best of the best, the ones who made it through all the 5
Trials.
5 trials, and then he would on top of that zombify them, and on top of that armor him up with this Lapizulus armor.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's
The
sort of-
forethought of him knowing that somebody was going to come and stop him and just building his own personal army.
well, he came to the plane really weak and damaged. It doesn't say why exactly, but he was really injured and in a bad way. And then he found that they had these 4 trials, or the 5 trials, and normally the trials would only happen once a century. And he's like, no, this is too slow. So he went and basically cast the spell and killed everyone over the age of 20. Just killed them all. And he's like, okay, we're going to take the old rules, and we're going to say that everyone goes through the trials. So the crops that they have is basically, imagine military units, and the military units go through the trials as a squad.
Wow.
Like squad-based trials. And then the gods are supposed to guide them through the trials.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and their blessing and their kindness is supposed to lead them, the final champions through. To the
I got
Okay,
you.
so the big question is, which one are you picking?
Oh, it's still the red
puncturing blow.
removal.
Okay, so
Yeah, puncturing
okay.
blow.
All right, next one is Dauntless Aven. It's 2 and a white. It's a creature, bird warrior. It's a 2/1. It has flying, and whenever Dauntless Aven attacks, untap target creature you control. So
Yeah, so you exert your creature and then attack with this guy and then untap the exerted
Oh
creature.
my god.
It's a 3-mana 2/1 flyer.
that's pretty.
On
nasty.
top of all of that.
So can you use that in the same attack phase if you exert while attacking and then
does
attack
that-
with
and
him?
that-
Yes,
that
that's
goes
how
on
it
the
works.
stack, or
Oh
whatever.
my
that's how it
lord.
works.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's bonkers.
Because when
Jeez.
the way exert works is when you attack, so
You
you make the
declare
decision,
exert.
you declare that they're exerted, so they're already exerted, and then he goes and activates, and his ability is on a trigger and it untaps.
Oh my lord.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm still going with this, but that's nasty, and wow, that's a common too. So
It's a common. It's only 3 mana for a 3-mana 2/1 flyer is already playable. So a 3-mana 2/1 flyer that literally synergizes with with a strategy of a white deck is just the next
Oh
level.
my lord. Yeah.
This set's gonna be really painful.
This is going to be really, really just
okay.
absolute power.
Uh-oh.
Next one, Torment of Venom, 2 and black. It's an instant. Put 3 -1/-1 counters on target creature. Its controller loses 3 life unless he or she sacrifices another non-land permanent or discards a card.
That's it for me. That's
This
going to
one?
be the pack one pick one. Yeah.
Yeah, and these are like
Instant speed.
It's instant speed version of that.
And
It's instant speed. It's -3/-3, which means that you're probably not gonna be able to remove something, kill something flat out. Most of the time you will be able to, but you can also make something just weaker and it loses in combat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't kill the gods.
No. Well, not by itself.
Right.
And then they have to sacrifice something,
No, well,
or potentially.
It's take 3 damage, or sacrifice a permanent, or discard a card. Right. But we had already talked about these cards, and,
Yeah.
and I
Where
don't
they're going to
think.
choose the thing that's worst for you and best for them, obviously.
Yeah, they're going to keep a land in their hand, or they're going to keep a dead spell in their hand, and that's what they're going to discard. So you want to imagine that it doesn't have that line of text.
Yeah.
Don't read it with that line of text.
Yeah.
Read it with just the part where it says put 3 -1/-1 counter.
Yeah.
And
So-
if you have other synergies with that, it just gets worse.
Yeah. So I mean,
Yeah.
that's still where that's my pack one pick one.
I'm
for
torn.
now.
I'm actually still going with this.
I'm-
Country Blow.
I have to go with the instant speed. Instant speed to me just bumps it up to that next level.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 damage is scary. You'll see that there's a lot of things to say 5 damage in this. The exile I don't think is gonna it's gonna be huge with the Eternalize in this set, but I think the amount gained from Torment of Venom is just higher.
Yeah.
Okay, next one is Sidewinder Naga. It's 2 in a green. It's a Naga warrior, a 3/2. As long as you control a desert, or there is a desert in your graveyard, you don't get it for both. Sidewinder gets +1/+0 and has trample.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, as long as you have the desert in the graveyard under control, it's like a 4/2 trample.
Which is amazing.
For 3 mana, it's
Yeah.
really
It's
scary.
amazing. With
So
all
these-
the pump that's running around in green,
Like
even
these-
without the pump.
These dude cards, or just the random creatures in here so far just seem really good.
Yeah.
I'm still going with this, and I don't know. If you guys are
I
still
mean,
going
either
with
one of those are
So
movable.
I think I do want to go back to one of the things that John Finkel said too. He said he does prefer red over any other color.
Yeah.
So if it came down
No.
to him, for draft.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So what he was saying is if it's a good red card, it's between a good red card and a good any other card. He's always going to take the red.
Yeah.
He's always going to go aggressive in his limited games. So I think he would actually agree with Puncturing Blow, but that listen for yourself to the old
Hey,
podcast.
Yeah.
Here's another removal.
Okay.
Lethal Sting, 2 in black sorcery. As an additional cost to cast Lethal Sting, put a -1/-1 counter on creature you control. Destroy target creature.
And that's
It's
what
sorcery
instant
speed.
sorcery.
Sorcery speed.
See, I still like the Torment of Venom.
I still like this better because I'm pretty sure. I mean, that'll kill everything but the indestructibles or the things that go in the. You know what I mean? Like stuff will go. The gods, basically.
Well, the gods. I mean, it'll still kill them.
I'm not going to pick a card because of a mythic rare that could possibly.
Okay, I
exist.
got you. I still don't. I don't know.
Yeah, Lethal Sting, it costs cheaper, but you have to have a creature on the board.
Yeah.
And you want your creature to still be around, so it has to have a -1/-1 counter. So it's going to get smaller. Hopefully you're going to kill their bigger thing, but chances are your spell that your creature that you just made weaker is going to lose to their weaker creature.
Yeah.
So you've taken your mid-range creature and made it lower just to kill the one. I like the card, don't get me wrong, but definitely I like Torment of Venom better.
Yeah,
So
I
I'm
think
still going with Puncture.
I think
This
that
is
would be
good.
that would be really good if you had like a bunch of tokens, or I mean that's definitely not pack one pick one.
Right.
That's if you're going down that route, like the black green, you're making tokens, or even
Yeah.
anything else that makes tokens, or you're running black white with that silly priest that prevents a -1/-1 counter being on your creatures. But I mean it's
Yeah.
situational, so but it's still
It's got a
removal.
lot of possibility in construction
Yeah.
for pack one.
Would that work? Because that creature says that if a -1/-1 counter, is it -1/-1 counter will be put on it?
You
Don't put it on
one
instead.
less.
One less.
Yeah.
Because the cost says to put a -1/-1. Does that work?
I mean you're a rules guru. It's
I'd have to see what the actual
it
text
still
is.
says it would put it on there, but then she says
Put
put
one
one
less.
less. So it's still
So it's still
triggering that it's
triggering.
there,
It's
but
still-
she
Yeah,
says
triggering is
causing
paying the
this
cost,
trigger.
and she removes the cost.
Yeah, it's still causing that trigger. It's still allowing that trigger to happen.
We'd have to look that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely something to look up.
I mean
Right,
it's
next-
not bad.
Now you
Next
can do a
one,
little scrolling marquee at the bottom that says when we looked it up what the results were.
God's Pharaoh's Faithful. It's a white human wizard. It's a 0/4. Whenever you cast a blue, black, or red spell, you gain 1 life.
I mean it's a 0/4 blocker for 1. And I mean if you're in any of those other colors, but it's definitely
Yeah, I don't care for it.
It's flavorful.
yeah.
It's very, very flavorful. Flavorful.
Yeah.
They're like, no, we deny the fact that our entire world is falling apart around us and the God Pharaoh is still good. But we're dying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next one is Striped River Winder. It is 6 and a blue. It's a serpent. It's a 5/5. It has hexproof and it has cycling for blue. That's another one of them.
That's a big beast.
Just another 7 mana.
It's like that. It's like that green
5/5
one, you know?
cycler, yeah.
Yeah, but this one has the cycle on it, which is really, really good.
Yeah.
I mean, its power and toughness is way, way below the green one.
Yeah, the green one was a 7/7.
I mean, I wouldn't
6/7.
Yeah,
6/7?
I wouldn't
Okay.
hate to have one in my deck, but
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, at the very least, it's the cycling.
It's not
I mean,
pick
blue
one,
wants
definitely.
card draw.
Alright, so next one is Gilded Ceradon. It's 4 and a red. It's a beast. It's a 4/4. When Gilded Ceradon attacks, if you control a desert or there is a desert card in your graveyard, target creature can't block this turn. I mean, it's just your standard aggro stuff.
Oh
you
my
know?
gosh.
standard act. That is not
It's good,
standard. That
Andrew.
is,
That is
a
huge.
5/5. There's a 4 mana or 5 mana. Oh my word! I'm completely backwards.
Here we go.
It's a 5 mana 4/4 that just shuts something down from
Yeah.
blocking. Oh yeah.
And that's if there's only one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a common slot.
It's really good.
I'm still going with the removal that I picked, the red removal.
How many deserts are you going to draft? Let's say hypothetically you
I'm
pack one,
surprised
pick
we haven't
one.
hit one yet. So.
Well, I'm just saying hypothetically you pack one, pick one that gilded Ceradon, right? Let's just say.
Okay.
How many deserts are you gonna like? How many picks are you gonna make where you choose the desert over
3.
3?
I would say a minimum of 3, yeah.
I mean, are you gonna start getting desperate? Like, if you're like, let's say you pack one, pick this. West of pack 1, you didn't get any deserts, and pack 2, you start looking, and you're like, man, I mean, would you pack 1, pick 1 a desert to turn on that ability? Like,
Probably
No.
not. I don't.
because if it didn't have that
it
ability, right, we're
depends
not
on the
talking
meta.
about the
I'd have
card.
to
No,
see
no,
how
no,
it's
absolutely
gonna be
not.
picked. And don't all those deserts have cycling too?
Some of the newer ones do.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. Yeah. I'm
But those
probably
are
grabbing
those are all
so.
at uncommon slot, I thought.
I don't
Right.
know.
Uncommon and rare.
Well, there's some
Which-
common ones.
Well, here's a common one right here. This is Desert of Indomitable.
Indomitable.
Yeah, Indomitable.
Yeah.
Indomitable.
Indomitable.
It's almost like we have Porky Pig on the podcast today.
Land desert. When it enters the battlefield, it enters tapped, and it adds 1 green, and it's cycling for 1 and a green.
Yep.
So there's one. There's a desert.
There is a desert. Yeah.
And I mean, that fits with the red-green hyper aggro, too.
Now, okay, here's another question I have for you.
Uh-huh.
If you're not in green, are you drafting this card, or you're only drafting it if you're in
Man,
green?
it's hard, man.
Um,
I do it with those 2 colors.
It depends on how desperate I was. If I had 2 and there was nothing else in the pack and this was rolling around and I was red-black or something, yeah, I'd probably grab it.
Really?
I think so, yeah.
It's
Just for the desert trigger, because I want a statistically higher chance of getting a desert if I have let's say 5 or more cards that require or want a desert to activate.
But it enters the battlefield tapped. You're gonna take a whole turn off just.
And it costs 1 more for cycling than let's say those rare lands.
Well, we're talking about it being completely off color, so the cycling is out.
I wouldn't pick it if I was completely off color unless I needed stuff.
And you could be tempted to pick it.
I would be tempted, yeah. If there was nothing else.
I needed deserts,
and that's what I'm saying, yeah.
How do you know when you need deserts?
Like when you got cards
have
that
to be
deserts, like.
Right, but at what point? What I'm saying is, at what point in the draft
I
do you
would
sit there and go, "Ouch, I need deserts."
Oh,
I would say halfway through pack 2.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Halfway through pack 2,
and then I would really start looking at how many creatures or cards I had that required a desert to activate, and then how many that I had in my pad.
I'm curious on the first draft we do.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm wondering if I should just get all greedy and just take them all. Or at least get my 3 out of the way. So, because I can see people getting.
Yeah, but what if you draft a deck that has no desert requirements?
I don't know.
Look at how many of these cards have no desert requirements.
True.
All but
that
one.
Is true.
There's 2. The Sidewinder Naga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is, that's a beefy little dude.
Wait, next one this is our first uncommon. This is Steward of Solidarity. It's 1 and a white. It's a human warrior. It's a 2/2. If you tap it, this is one of those ones you can tap and exert out of combat. Tap it, exert Steward of Solidarity, create a 1/1 white warrior creature token with vigilance.
So every other turn you're making a 1/1 for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty serious.
Pretty serious. And then attack with that angel, the flying angel to untap.
The bird.
And then,
it wasn't even an angel.
Yeah, the bird.
And
a common bird.
Save it every time it attacks.
Yeah.
Oh,
let me go
dude.
Let me go ahead and do this. Tack. Oh, let me do it again.
Yep. And
surprise combat trick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's really good. Not pack one, pick one for
No.
me, but I can't wait to play with these. It's pretty art too.
Yeah, no, it's really nice. And it's
Struggle
2 for a
to
2/2.
Survive is our next one uncommon.
Ooh.
It's 2 and a red. It's an instant. The first part is an instant. The struggle is an instant. Struggle deals damage to target creature equal to number of lands you control. And then for sorcery, the survive is 1 and a green, and has aftermath. Each player shuffles his or her graveyard into his or her library.
See, I like it.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan. Like
To me, that's my colors. So I would take that over
definitely not first picking it.
I would.
What?
No.
It's three damage at a minimum.
Yep.
For 3 mana.
And then
Yeah.
get rid of your god.
Well,
And, shooting for that or all your eternalize.
I wanted just the mono red version of it. I mean, struggle or survive. I think. I don't know what
I
I'm
see what you're
cast
saying.
it,
Like,
but
if it's in your hand, you get to 3 at minimum 3. If you're casting on turn 3, minimum 3.
Yep.
At worst.
And it's instant speed.
And it's instant speed. Yeah. That's my pack one pick.
You
one.
sold me on that now.
Yeah.
But not even counting this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Don't worry about
count
the
that.
green part.
Yeah.
See, now it says all players or target player?
All players.
Each player.
Yeah.
So you get that late game, or you play that early, and then you're running out of your big power stuff.
Well, and then green and red doesn't have a lot of eternalized or whatever it's
Card draw.
Yeah. Well, no, I just mean it doesn't have a lot of the. It doesn't care about your graveyard.
Yeah.
You don't really.
Okay, so next one is Devotee of Strength. It's 2 and 2 green. Devotee of Strength, yeah. Devotee.
It's like Stewart.
It's a Naga with. Did I say?
You said Stewart.
It is Stewart.
No, it's Steward.
Oh.
There's a D in it. There's no.
I guess I'm seeing that wrong. It's getting old. I thought it said Stewart. I'm like, that's weird.
You know what? I know what we're getting him for Christmas. Some reading glasses.
I had LASIK done.
Yeah, it's obviously you got ripped off.
I didn't get ripped off. It was good. I got it done in 2004, so it's been a while. So
yeah.
Okay.
Naga Wizard, 3/2. Target. If you pay 4 and a green, target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. It's a 3/2 for 3.
Yep.
But this thing, you're only doing it to one creature. It's very expensive.
No, it's a late game. It's a late game mana sink that you can basically pump up.
And it doesn't tap him.
And it doesn't tap it. You can do it twice. I mean, how many times have you had 10 mana?
Yeah.
Turning something to give it +4/+4. Combat.
Especially
is a nightmare.
Especially that Naga that gets trample.
Yeah. It's more like good luck, have fun.
I just ate your creature for free.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Ready for the rare?
Yep.
Always.
Boom. Resilient Kenra. 1 and a green. It's a rare. It's Jackal Wizard. It's a 2/2. When it enters the battlefield, you may have target creature get +X/+X until end of turn, where X is Resilient Kenra's power, and it has Eternalize for 4 and a green.
Yeah. So basically, it enters the battlefield, gives something +2/+2.
Yeah.
And later on, it comes in the battlefield and gives something +4/+4.
Yeah.
So that actually kind of counters a little bit of the struggle to survive.
Yeah, I mean, it makes the survive better.
Yeah.
I'm not first picking that.
No, I'm not going first pick. I mean,
No.
I think too many people are going to see that it's rare and be like, oh, I have to first pick this. Nope, struggle's so much better.
Yeah.
And we have a land. And
What's the token? Hold on, that looks like a cool
token is Sun Scorched Champion.
Yeah, but that looks cool. Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, that is nice.
But so I think it is worth noting,
Jesus.
right? Let's talk about this for a second.
Okay.
All right. So, no, oh my word, what are you doing?
I'm trying to find my card.
Give me these packs. Okay. All right. So when your opponent casts Resilient Kendra, right? They target a creature. That ability to give it +1 plus X goes on the stack. You can respond with struggle, and then kill that creature before the +2/+2 results. So they'll be like, oh yeah, I got this, or even if they're putting it on themselves, because suddenly it becomes a 4/4 until on a turn, you can kill it with struggle while that first ability is on the stack. So it's worth noting. I think it's
Okay, so pack one, pick one is struggle to survive. All three of us in on.
Yeah, it's actually.
I think the pack one, pick one is struggle.
Yes.
Oh,
struggle.
here we go.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't care about survive. Like I'm not.
The card's called struggle to survive. So.
The card's called struggle survive.
Okay.
But I think the mistake would be to think, oh, I have struggled to survive. I have to go, green. Like, let me focus on green. The survive is so bad. I don't imagine anyone's ever going to cast it. Don't cast it. It's the number of times. Here we go. Do we have pies to do a pie challenge?
I don't know what a pie challenge is.
So pie challenge is we make a call right now early on, and we say that, like I, for example, say nobody's ever going to cast Struggle to Survive that's listened to this podcast, so you don't count automatically.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to say nobody's ever going to cast Survive outside of this, you don't count, I don't count. And then if I'm right, I get to put a pie in your face. And if you're right, you get to put a pie in my face. But the only problem is I don't know where a pie is.
I mean, we could talk to the defect.
Mm-hmm.
I'm down with that.
We can all just
this
get
is from Star City. By the way,
individual
this is from
pieces
Star
of
City
games.
Games. This is from Star City Games. This is something they do during their set release. They do a pie challenge. They say, "Hey, this card's unplayable," or "Hey, this card's really good." So
we can always get a bunch of people to grab us pies and just put it together and make one.
All right, I'm saying Survive will not be cast.
I think somebody's going to make that mistake.
All right.
I don't think it's going to be a mistake. I just don't think anyone's
On
going to do
to
it.
pack two.
All right. Oh, okay. I see. 27 minutes. I got it. All right.
Hey, man, you're not supposed to, like...
Oh, here we go.
You're supposed to, like, pretend like I didn't show you.
What? That's not art style pod? What did you... Wait.
No, I'm just getting it prepped. Okay. I don't want to keep the man waiting.
All right. Yeah. Oh, yeah, because he's going to be super... All right. First card we have is Firebrand Archer for 1 and a red. It is a creature human archer. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, Firebrand Archer deals 1 damage to each opponent. It's a 2/1. So 2 mana, 2/1.
It's not
cast
terrible.
A pulse spell and
it
pings them for damage.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
It's interesting. Yeah. I could definitely would play one in a like
blue red. I think would be the best.
Blue red, blue black if you had a lot of control.
What, you mean red black?
Or red black if you had a lot of control.
Yeah, because black. Yeah. Okay, so.
All right, that's
neat.
That's all right.
That's a thing.
Okay. Aerial guide. Okay, it's for 2 and a blue. It's a creature Jake.
Lord.
Flying. Whenever Aerial Guide attacks, another target attacking creature gains flying until end of turn. It's a 2/2.
Jesus.
Because that's a 2/2 for 3. I'm grabbing that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's an aggressive 2/2.
Yeah.
It's gonna make
super
it's better
aggressive.
than that white one that gives something flying, but you have to exert or whatever.
That is going to be hard to top. It's one of the best blue commons.
Yeah, which is nice that blue's getting some power.
You don't have to exert to get that. It's just every time thing.
Oh my gosh.
That's bonkers. And any creature, right?
Yes, any attacking creature.
That's just all right. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a really good card.
That's really, really good.
All right, next we have Disposal Mummy. I love the jackal-headed art.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and look, there's like a mummy burning. All right, it's for 2 and a white. It's a zombie jackal. When Disposal Mummy enters the battlefield, exile target card from an opponent's graveyard. It's a 2/3. So it's a 2/3. It gets rid of Eternalize.
Yeah, it gets rid of a lot of things.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not terrible.
Survive, so I don't have to get pie in my face.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, I'm going with the blue flying thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Drake.
I think it's still. I don't want to put them. I don't want to draft them specifically because of the graveyard stuff. I don't even care. Like maybe I'll hit something. I expect to do it about 20% of the time.
Okay.
10% of the time. Kid.
Yeah. Well, I guess it really depends on how strong this Eternalize becomes in this set.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a late game threat. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, because there's some of them, most all of them are pretty expensive to catch.
There's 6, right? I think all
5 to 6, yeah.
Oh, okay.
5 to 6, yeah.
So they're different costs. Okay, yeah, that's pretty pricey, but it can make a big difference later.
Oh yeah, and a lot of them have that too. So all right, so
and there's the battlefield triggers. Now they are susceptible to bounce spells. So
yeah.
All right. Oh, look at that! It's a Sidewinder Naga again. Yeah. So still has the same abilities. It's still a 3 mana 3/2, and it wants to have a desert to make it a 4/2
Trample.
It's gonna be hard to beat that Drake.
Yeah,
it's gonna be really hard
to beat the Drake. Let's see what we got next. Boom. Kiarna Eternal for 1 and a black. Creature Zombie Jackal Warrior. Again, you'll notice the
blue armor, yeah.
Yep. It has Afflict and Afflict 1, and it's a 2/2. So it's a 2/2 for 2. That if they block it, so to try and if they block it with like a 1/4 or a 0/4, they're taking 1 point of damage.
Anyway, yeah. And I mean, it fits into the zombie meta if you get enough stuff in there. So
here we go. So for many years, servant mummies toiled in the mines to extract lapids.
Anyway.
Yeah. The emergence of Eternals revealed the sacred substance' true purpose.
Yeah.
Is to coat all the warriors. I mean, it's good. Definitely
it's a good early drop.
A black-red deck.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely a good early drop.
All right. Next we have, boom. Oh yeah, Rampaging Hippo for 4 and a green. This is gonna be the terror of the format. This thing, people are gonna cast this, and you're just gonna roll your eyes and go, okay, that's the game we're playing now. It is a trampling 5/6, 5/6 already, and it has cycling for 2. Yeah, this thing is very scary.
Oh yeah.
I'm already afraid of it. I don't like it. I don't like it better than the Drake.
Yeah, but it's still scary and nasty.
Have we lost you at this point, or are you still in the Drake plan?
I mean, I don't like blue, but it's really hard to beat that.
Like flying evasion, man.
See, but to me, I'm looking at the blue, and there's good cards, but you definitely need to run a different color with it. Like the green, I can see you can run a mono green. I can see you can run a mono red.
But imagine the combination.
Oh, I know, absolutely. Yeah, and that's where that becomes absolutely just terrifying.
So are you still in Drake plan?
Yeah, for now. I mean, I love the cycling. I love the 5/6 trample. I mean,
it's only common, so you maybe get another 1 or 2.
Oh, I'm sure there'll be 1 or 2. Yeah, well, we can only hope. That's a beautiful world to live in. But yeah, the Drake is still way more powerful just from giving something else flying.
Yeah, the evasion.
It's a really big thing. I mean, you've got to attack with it a lot, and that's the way I like aggressive decks anyway. Yeah. So that's more me.
Yeah, not good in defensive decks. That's a note out there. Do not draft that card in a defensive.
No.
Deck. All right, Traveler's Amulet makes a reappearance in this set.
Old school.
It's for 1. It's an artifact. Pay 1, sacrifice Traveler's Amulet. Search your library for a basic land. So you can't search for deserts. You cannot search for deserts. Reveal it and put it in your hand, and then shuffle your library.
So it's a 1-turn slower Evolving Wilds.
Well, you can play it with Evolving Wilds. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't. Yes, it's a 1-turn slower Evolving Wilds, but you put the land into your hand and then you can play the land.
I see. You don't put it in tapped. I got you.
Right. It just comes in your hand.
So it's sort of about the same thing then.
It's mana fixing.
It's really good, especially for common.
Yeah.
It's a great 1-drop. Don't crack it too early because you never know what land you need. 3-color decks.
No, man, I'm not gonna first pick it because I usually don't go 3 colors. I have before. I think 1 time in this set, and that's about it.
Yeah, see, I don't like the 3 colors. It's spreading too thin. That's my thoughts.
I like to grab them late, like pick 10, 11. There's nothing else you really want, and you're looking at like a card that you don't really care about. You're not really gonna put in your deck. Like, let's say there's a green pump, like let's say there's a black like pump spell, like trick spell versus a Traveler's Amulet. I'll take the Traveler's Amulet.
Let's see, I don't think the Traveler's Amulet's going to last that long. I think people are going to see them and think, oh, I always need more mana.
I don't know. It's weird. I've seen it sometimes where I'll see Evolving Wilds go around several times, and then sometimes I don't.
Yeah.
It just depends on what people
I think people don't realize that you put the land into your hand. It doesn't, they think it's ramp.
It's been used before when it's in draft before. People use it often, so.
Yeah. All right, next we have my favorite line of text in, I think my favorite, what do you call it? Flavor text.
Flavor text, yeah.
Yeah. It's Grantic Titan? Grantic Titan?
Granitic?
Titan?
Granitic Titan.
All right, we'll go with that. I like it.
Well, I mean, that's the I is in front of the T.
I'm terrible at this stuff.
Granitic.
Yeah, that's why I do a podcast. It's because I'm bad at speaking.
That's usually what people do.
4 and a red. It's a creature elemental with menace. It's a 5/4. I think it's part of the cycle that the rampaging hippo is.
Yeah.
It's a 6 mana 5/4 with menace, and it has cycle for 2. With flavor text of "That's not mine, run" by Nissa.
That is pretty good.
Yeah.
That is. I like that it's 5 power. Toughness isn't big of a deal because if it's getting double blocked, it's probably going to die anyways. But
Absolutely.
you get to choose to take out something, and you're forcing them to block 2 on 1.
Yeah.
So I do like that. But I'm still picking the flyer.
Yeah, I think we're still on the flyer.
Yeah.
Also, the flyer is the only blue spell.
Yeah, so far.
Yeah.
At least in this pack.
So we're cutting blue so far.
That's weird.
All right, next up we have Desert of the Indomitable.
Yeah.
The Desert of the Snowman.
Absolutely.
Indomitable Snowman.
Yeah.
The indomitable snowman.
No, it's the abominable.
Land desert.
All right.
All right, and then we have
Blue
Seeker of the Last Tomorrow. This is a card that, oh my word, somebody...
It sounds like some 80s sci-fi or fantasy movie.
Seeker of the Last Tomorrow. Can you make our 80s like a visual of the background?
Like
all of us have mullets all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Like a curl thing. And
Yeah, like a crawl
Jesus.
blade. Like, here you go, I'll do this, and then you add the blade going up. Does that work? No? Okay.
All right.
All right, Seeker of the Last Tomorrow. There's a guy who's going to draft all of these, and yeah, it's going to be hilarious.
Lose. Please draft them all.
Yeah, for 2 and a blue, it's a Naga? Wow. Okay, I guess I didn't really look at the art. All right, it's a creature Naga Cleric. It's
It
a
is
1/4.
a Naga?
It is a Naga. I thought that was a head covering. That's his actual head.
So that's a snake, right? The
Yeah,
Nagas
the
are
Nagas
snakes.
are snake people.
The snake bottom people.
Yeah. Okay, it's looking down. That's what it is. I thought it was a dude wearing a veil,
That's what I thought too, or a woman wearing a veil.
but it's a snake looking down, and that's the top of its head that you see.
Yeah, that's weird. Anyway.
Because it's wearing the head thing on the back of its neck. Anyway.
that was the Egyptian style, isn't it? It was
all the way on the
wrapped,
back, though?
Yeah, wrapped
Not on
around
the
the
head?
back.
Okay.
We'll have to look at Egyptian art now.
Yeah.
Or
Here's some Egyptian art for you.
yeah, or something.
We'll have to
All
watch The Mummy or something.
Oh, jeez.
All right, so you pay a blue, and you tap this, and you discard a card, and then target player puts the top 3 cards of his or her library into their graveyard. That is a lot of hoops to jump through
Yeah.
to merely mill for 3.
Yeah.
No.
Nope.
No.
Not even close.
Somebody gets
We gotta
that in the pack. Oh, ain't nobody cutting blue.
We gotta do a pie challenge on nobody will ever play this card.
Oh,
I think they'll
there's
play
gonna
it.
be tons of people
I
trying
think the ability won't be used.
I know one person who's
Yeah.
really going to try playing this.
Well, he's actually been on our podcast before.
Yo,
but,
Joe. Joe loves to mill.
I will declare that nobody will ever win. Are we in agreement? No one ever
Yeah,
wins?
no one will win
I
that.
disagree with that.
Not
Joe will
not
pull it
through that
off.
card.
He always pulls it off.
No one will ever win milling by the Seer of Tomorrow.
Yeah, I disagree with
Okay.
that.
All right.
All right,
I
so
Challenge.
there's 2
That's
pies
2.
going to happen, man.
That's
I
2.
like
I'm telling
this.
you, Joe, you
All
better
right.
do this.
No, you can't. You can't tell people they have to do it.
No. I know he's going to do it. He doesn't
Okay.
watch our part
know.
sometimes.
Anyway,
Something
Next
like
card.
that sound.
Man, we just went. Yeah, because we screamed and laughed real hard. We peeked
Okay.
out.
All right. Ooh, this is in your colors right here. Resolute Survivor for 1 and a red-white. It's a creature human warrior. It's a 3/3, so a 3 mana 3/3. You may exert it as it attacks. All right, and whenever you exert a creature, the Resolute Survivor deals 1 damage to each opponent, and you gain 1 life. What's wrong?
Nothing's wrong. Keep going. Do my producer thing.
Okay. All right. Well, my
Yeah,
bad,
there we
co-host.
go.
I was just making sure everything was all right.
there we go.
All right. So, what do you think?
I really like that.
Do you like the fact that it's already forces you into 2 colors?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind that at
The
all.
fact that it's gold and you're gonna have to force 2 colors. But what if at lunch you were thinking about playing blue-black?
Are we talking to the same person here? Blue black? Really? That's what we're going with? Red green, maybe. Red black? That's a thing. Red green? Red white, I haven't had too much luck with, but Yeah,
I like Boros, but I'm not picking that pack one.
You know what? I would say it depends on the rest of the color composition of that pack.
Yeah,
If
like
I
you
see
could come
a
back
couple of
later
things-
and change it.
That
Right.
one there.
So we're looking at this pack right here with not a really good red card, not a good white card. Are you gonna pack one, pick one, Resolute Survivor over the aerial guide?
I don't know. That's probably not.
No. Yes, he's gonna play smart. I love it.
I mean, I still would find something that I would pick over the blue, most likely.
So that was our
Just
first
for-
uncommon, by the way.
Yeah.
And it says we are no longer crop. Read
Yeah.
elsewhere.
Yep.
I love the flavor text.
Oh yeah, they did such an amazing job with the flavor text on most of these cards.
Shout out to the guy who did the flavor text.
Yeah.
Somebody posted on Twitter is like, "Hey, my flavor text is finally posted," and I was like, "That's awesome," and I don't remember who it is.
Oh, that's a shame.
I'm bad at that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. Ooh, Rumpatip?
We had this discussion.
Rumpatip?
It's Ruminap.
Ruminap. I think
Ruminap.
he's
Yeah.
closer to Raumanap.
Raumanap?
Closer to that.
Ruminap?
Yeah, it's weird. Anyway.
Ruminap Ruins. You can see it right here. Ruminap Ruins. All right, it's a land desert. You can tap and you can. What do you?
Man,
you keep distracting me every time you reach
Don't
over.
do
and
that.
stuff.
I'm gonna be doing that.
I'm trying to focus.
Sometimes you talk different in the mic,
I got you.
and then I had to turn the compression.
Well, just the
up
whole
because we were
sound is
peaking a little.
completely all jacked up from
It's-
what we had earlier. Like
It's
in
not
my headset,
jacked up. It's just different.
yeah, it's completely.
You can
different.
turn it down or more. The dynamics are going to be higher when you turn that up. It's like one of them logarithmic.
All right, you know what? We're at 41 minutes,
potentiometer.
so
Okay.
this needs to stop.
All right, so you can tap it for a colorless, or you can tap it, pay a life, and get yourself a red mana, or you can pay 2, red, tap it, sacrifice a desert, and it deals 2 damage to each opponent. I'm not a fan of
No.
the.
I gotta read it. I zoned out thinking about all this stuff.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't know.
It's
It's a desert that does things.
Nah, man, you gotta pay 1 life just to get the red. You do get a colorless for free though.
Right, but I mean, it's a desert that lets
It
you.
doesn't
do
come
things.
into play
It
tapped
doesn't come
either.
in
Doesn't come into
tapped,
play tapped.
and it's a desert. Yeah, I'm kind of for this. I like this actually better than the cycling ones that come in tapped.
No, nope.
What?
no way.
Cycling draws you a card. Cycling draws you a
But
card.
it's like 2.
And it gives you the color for free.
Yeah.
You just have to wait till it untaps.
Yeah, which is
Okay.
So infinitely better.
I mean, I'm not. This is not even in the running for pack one, pick one.
right.
No. But it definitely will let you know kind of what might be going around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like syphilis or something.
All right,
Lean.
Vile Manifestation. It's for 1 and a black. It's a creature horror. Now, read the text of this one. This one's crazy. Vile Manifestation gets +1/+0 for each card with
God.
cycling in your graveyard. So not how many cards you cast with cycling this turn. It's just each one in your graveyard. So
So goofy.
yeah, and it has cycling on its own. So cycling for 2. It's a 0/4.
That's
So it's
huge.
a 0/4 that can easily become 4/4, 4/5 or 5/4 for only 2 mana.
The later the game goes, the better the card gets.
Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah,
especially in black because there's a lot of cycling
I'm
in black.
still not that big of a fan.
It's a
of
black-blue cycling, cycling combo.
Yeah.
I like this because it gives me, like, if I pack one, pick one this, I know I want cycling cards, and it gives me a
Yeah.
direction to go.
Yeah,
If I
absolutely.
pick the aerial guide, I don't really have a direction to go. I'm just blue,
You have to hope.
flying,
You have to
aggro.
hope.
Yeah.
That's such a
for
weird
color.
combat trick. Let me cycle to draw into something that also might help out.
Well, I mean, like I
Your
said,
cycling is
it's,
powered up.
yeah,
Yeah,
that
I
thing
know,
is a
it's
2
crazy.
cost,
I'm-
0/4, so you got
I'm
at
not
least
big first pack.
3
It's
turns
It's not
blocking it.
Because,
It's not the right pick.
but because it's uncommon.
No, it's not. It's not the right pick, right? But I like a direction to know I want my draft to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And taking this, knowing I'm gonna look for cycling cards, giving me a plan. I want that more than the. I guess a better example is when I was in high school and the teacher says, "I want you to write a paper about, paper about Richard Nixon." Right? You can write a paper about Richard Nixon. If they're like, write a paper about a president, you're like, well, there's so many of them. Or just write a paper about somebody important in your life, and you're like, what? It's so open. It's almost too open.
Yeah.
And so for me, I look at aerial guide and say it's so open. It's almost too open. I want a path. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Helps me drive
Yeah.
better for my goal.
I got you.
So I'm going to go with Vile Manifestation. And you're both still on aerial guide?
Yeah, I'm on Arrow Guy.
Yeah, because I would see the hippo, and I would go.
yeah.
I would think
Oh,
blue
yeah.
green,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
that's where my mind
just
would go, and that would
bonkers,
force
man.
it.
Nice.
I don't think I've seen blue green.
Oh,
All
there
right,
it
here's
is.
our first rare.
What in
It
the
is
world?
Reason. Is Reason and
What?
Believe. What?
I never say. You know, I ain't seen these cards, so.
Okay, so for sorcery speed, for a blue, scry 3.
That's crazy.
So
it
good.
just says scry 3 on there. It's funny. It's just so lacking in text.
Yeah. And the art is whatever. Okay.
doesn't make any
Believe
sense.
is for 4 and a green.
Aftermath.
Sorcery Aftermath. Look at the top card of your library. You may put it onto the battlefield if it's a creature. If you didn't, wait, what? Put it on the battlefield if it's a creature card. If you didn't, put it in your hand.
If you didn't put it on the battlefield,
So
the card goes in your hand if it's not a creature, right?
It's put it on the battlefield if you didn't. Yeah, put it in your hand. It's basically a draw card. I think the idea is to scry 3, set yourself up, and then cast it.
and then just free cast something.
Free cast something big, and then you'll see that they have that Desert Hydra thing that costs
Yeah.
way cheaper than how much mana you're spending on this.
I can't see too many instances where that's going to work really well. Not for that much. Not for 5.
And not in this, right? Because I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pay 5 to get a 6 cost something.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
it costs 6 to set it up. Now, let's say we're playing Cube Draft,
Cube Draft, that's broken.
and you pack one, pick one.
That's stupid.
And then you
broken.
play an Emrakul.
Yeah, you play anything.
Yeah.
Anything that comes through the Cube Draft.
Yeah.
I
That
think
thing
this is a very
is
cool
gross.
card. But not where I want to be.
No, not at all. And I think people are going to make the mistake, and they're going to they're going to try and build around that.
And so you still haven't seen the full art or the lands, right?
I've seen a couple of them after
Okay.
you told me about them.
Yeah, and you see all
the
the-
Rivers of Blood.
Yeah,
I mean,
the Rivers of
it's a
Blood.
really, really cool effect that they've done.
And that's because the demon came out and he's like, cast a spell, Rivers of Blood, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah.
All right, so
So,
Aerial Guide for
wrapping
me and
up,
Rob.
I'm on Vile Manifestation, and you guys are
yeah,
on Aerial Guide.
I will
Okay.
go Aerial Guide.
And by Aerial Guide, you mean blue green.
I mean anything blue with some power in it. All right, so third pack. Oh, look, we even got the new.
Oh, wow.
They look really nice. The little-
Flip it over real fast, just the... Okay.
That's the
I
same
didn't
thing.
know if it changed colors.
Yeah, so
It is different. Oh, you mean
it's a
Yeah.
blood red.
Yeah.
So all right.
Okay.
So first card we have
Oh.
Solitary Camel. It's 2 and a white creature camel. Solitary Camel has lifelink as long as you control a desert or there's a desert in your graveyard. 3/2 for 3. That's actually not super terrible.
No.
Deserts are inhospitable, not uninhabitable.
Yeah.
So that's a neat little flavor text. All right, so next.
I'm not excited about it, but I think the lifelink on it is pretty
Yeah,
cute.
That usually does pretty well in the drafts and limited formats. All right, so Disposal Mummies next. 2 and a white, same card as before. Enters the battlefield, exile target card from an opponent's graveyard for 2/3.
Picking a camel over
Yeah,
that.
camel
Oh, yeah.
still. Lifelink is huge. Open Fire. 2 and a red, instant speed. Open Fire deals 3 damage to creature or player.
Yep.
So
Yep. Pack one, pick one.
yeah, definitely.
Definitely pack one, pick one. And it's like the little dog head thing.
Mm-hmm. All right, Lethal Sting. Again, card we've had before. 2 and a black, sorcery. Additional cost is to put a 1/1 counter on creature you control. Destroy target creature.
No, I'm just saying there's so much. There's going to be so much.
It's a
forms of
really, really
removal
heavy
and direct
removal.
damage going around.
I'm going to go with the Open Fire still.
Yeah, I'm looking at Open Fire still.
Oh, yeah.
Instant speed, not the other part. All right, so Beneath the Sands, 2 and a green, sorcery. Search your library for a basic land card and put it into the battlefield tapped, and then shuffle your library. And with cycling too. And the flavor text is, though buried and muffled, nature's whisper still called Denisa. So it's not bad. I wish it let you look for a desert.
That's what I was just about to say. Like,
That would be the best.
I don't understand. Like, it seems like a flavor fail. Like,
Yeah.
what have you
Flavor
lost?
fail.
What have you lost not doing that?
I mean, mechanic fail. I mean,
It fit.
deserts are important in this set. All right, that was interesting. Next card, we got Strategic Planning. It's a 1 and a blue. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put 1 of them in your hand and the rest into your graveyard. That's pretty good.
So, and the flavor text is.
Oh, yeah.
So, well, the flavor text of this was actually posted just recently in episode or article number 7, which is like way too late for what the flavor text is.
Yeah, it says Bolus remade this place in his image. He has the advantage here. We must approach carefully. By Jace. Ever the scaredy cat.
Well, it's also like super late.
Yeah.
Bolus is already here.
All right, so Wall of Forgotten Pharaohs.
Before you read this card, because Gary hasn't seen, I imagine Gary's going to take every one one and play them all.
You'd know. Okay, let's read this thing.
All right, so it costs 2. It's an artifact creature wall. Defender. It says tap. Wall of Forgotten Pharaohs deals 1 damage to target player. Activate this ability only if you control a desert or there's a desert in your graveyard. And there's 0/4s. So, yeah, there we go. The telltale groan from Gary.
No, that's not...
2-drop isn't bad.
I like it.
The wall isn't terrible. It
doesn't really do anything.
No,
the person for 1, right?
The only that's the only.
If they have a desert,
if you have a desert.
If you have a desert, it's.
Again, I could see Gary taking all of these and winning somehow because nobody knows what to do against a 0/4 wall.
Yeah,
it's just gonna be hilarious. To me, this is how Gary plays.
I'll block and tap it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I was thinking you were full of crap, but it's in my mind.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is the card.
I'm not even going to pie challenge that one because I know it'll happen. All right, so another desert. We got Desert of the Glorified.
Great Desert, right?
The what?
No, that's Bantu.
That's Bantu. Yeah, that's the black one.
The crocodile.
Oh, it's crocodile. Oh, I'm looking at it from way over here.
No,
the black one. The black one is the crocodile.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Bantu.
So, Desert of the Glorified enters the battlefield tapped. Tap to add black to your mana pool, and cycling is 1 and a black. So another desert to feed into it. A lot less deserts than I was actually expecting to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We've seen 1 in every pack.
Yeah, but I would have expected,
that's
occasionally
a lot,
2.
1 in every pack. That means you're gonna have a chance of seeing at least 2 or 3 of them in every. Way more than that probably.
So that makes
these things.
That definitely makes some of those cards that need a desert to activate a lot more viable.
And that's why I was saying you really got to think: is this the time when I have to pull the trigger and take a desert, or do I wait?
It really depends on the rest of the pack.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So all right, so on to the next card. We have Scrounger of Souls, 4 and a black, creature horror, 3/4 with lifelink.
It's like Slenderman meets.
Yeah, it's garbage.
No, I think
5 for 3/4.
It has lifelink.
It has lifelink.
It has that magical 4 toughness, which I think it puts it right over.
Right on that.
Yeah.
Edge.
Yeah.
You're having to force combat tricks out of them.
You definitely are, or just eat it with something bigger. It survives
open fire, which I think is still our pack 1 pick 1.
Yeah. All right, so Defiant Kenra is the next card. It's 1 and a red, and it's just a Jackal Warrior, 2/2 with a great big line of flavor text. There were those who saw the death of the gods and the city's collapse as a final test of worth. Some believed it meant the god pharaoh had been killed. Only a few realized they had been deceived. Yeah, it's just a
2 mana 2/2.
Yeah, 2 mana 2/2.
Unexciting 2 mana 2/2.
Yeah, the art's not terrible, but it's very gray.
So it is. The worst part is that when where is that one? What I don't get is how is this a 2 mana 2/2? This is a 2 mana 2/2. Sorry, we're talking about the Kenra Eternal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? It's the one in black, but this has a flicked. This doesn't.
Because that's a zombie. That's been pumped up.
Yeah.
No, I'm not talking lore wise. I'm talking game balance mechanic wise. Why is this what? I don't know.
I'm confused. that's odd. All right, so next card. First uncommon, we have Unconventional Tactics, 2 and a white. Sorcery. Target creature gets +3/+3 and gains flying until end of turn. When a zombie enters a battlefield under your control, you may pay a white. If you do, return it from your graveyard to your hand.
All right, you read a lot there.
Okay, so basically you take a creature,
God.
you give it +3/+3 and flying, and it launches at your opponent and hits them for 6. Then you cast another zombie spell, you pay a white.
1.
You pay 1 white and get this back from your graveyard. And then you cast it again, and it goes flying out again.
Not only that, it just says when a zombie enters the battlefield. So if you have something that just triggers zombies.
Eternalize?
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying without having any kind of cost. I'm going with that.
Ooh.
Just because.
Pick one going that?
Just because that's.
Sorcery?
It is a sorcery, so they know it's coming. They're going to have to burn a card for it, but it comes back to my hand over and over and over. That's where I'm gonna go.
I don't like that,
but I don't like the zombies in this set. Like, the zombies aren't as cool as they were in the last one. Like, the zombie was like a theme in this. Because remember, you only have one pack of Amonkhet. So you're not going to get the whole zombie lord. You're not. You
would definitely have to go real heavy black.
I really do like that.
Are you gonna take these?
Recycle that.
Are you gonna take these bad disposal mummies? Like, are you gonna actively draft them just to play?
I mean, I definitely might. Yeah.
Okay.
Just because I know that nobody else will, and he's still swinging for 5.
Yeah, you really do have to narrow yourself into white and into zombie.
Into white, black, and into zombies.
Yeah, I'm going with the red still.
Well, I mean, even if you went another color, like red blue has some eternalized, or white blue has eternalized.
You don't have to go black.
Yeah, but that's where primarily the zombies are.
There's zombies in blues.
I just like the return mechanic of it. That I can walk in. It gives it evasion. It gives it 3/3.
And it's inevitable too, because even if they even if they kill the creature in response, it goes to the graveyard. You can just get it again. This is I disagree with you.
Oh, I understand.
But this is a card that I could definitely see in 2 months from now. Right, 2 months we'll still be drafting this, like towards the end of our drafting of this. 2 months from now, I will come back and you can ask me about it, and I will say yes, you were right. This card is a pack one, pick one.
I honestly think it is, just because of the recurrence from it. With the Eternalize that's in the set, you could go white in any other color, as long as you get a couple of zombies in the other colors and then some white zombies.
There's also something you can discard, like if you're white blue and you have like those discard things, like farm to table or farm to market. Yeah. You can discard 2 cards. You can discard this as 1, and then I'm not sold on, like, I'm getting there, and I can see the power level of it, but I'm not there yet.
Yeah, and it makes people like, oh, let me sideboard something for removal. This is I gotta deal with this crap every turn.
I mean, there's a lot of removal in this. Oh, not in this pack. Actually, there's only 2 removal spells in this pack
for actual like open fire.
Well, there's open fire.
But remember, it's only until end of turn. So
no. I'm talking about just in this pack in general. There's only been 2 removals.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's still a decent amount of removal. I think the recurrence of that is gonna play a big part, especially if you're smart with it. I mean, it is sorcery, so that does hurt it a bit.
But it's flying, so
the 3/3 and flying. I mean, that's a huge chunk. So I mean, you've got to make them burn.
I would put this down as a controversial pick that I believe you're correct on, and I'm wrong. But
you have to take the removal most times.
Yeah, I'm gonna go the safe route.
Okay, all right. So Jace's defeat. 1 in a blue, instant, uncommon. Counter target blue spell. If it was a Jace Planeswalker, scry 2.
Complete garbage.
No, okay, first off.
It's not complete.
Yes. It is definitely sideboard.
Yeah, especially against a real heavy blue deck, just because you can counter the little flying guy.
It's Gainsay.
Yeah.
It's Gainsay for 1 in a blue, it's Gainsay. It's counter target blue spell.
It's definitely not first pack.
No.
Pick one. All right, so
you got to ignore the whole Planeswalker part on it.
Yeah.
But Jace isn't actually in any of this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's that's a terrible card.
It's weird that I guess they did that with all the
right,
colors.
so here's another blue. Vizier of the Anointed. No. 3 in a blue, creature human cleric, uncommon level, 2/4. When the Vizier of the Anointed enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a creature card with Eternalize or Embalm. Put that creature in your graveyard and then shuffle your library. And then here's the really, really good part about it. On top of that is whenever you activate an Eternalize or an Embalm ability, draw a card. So that's really, really good.
Yeah.
That is, see, that right there would work perfect with that card there.
Yeah, the tactics.
The tactics, absolutely. So even that horrible little cat that you hate to death turns into a 4/4.
There's so much better than that cat.
There is, but for 1 mana.
For 1 mana, draw a card?
Yeah. 1 mana, draw a card and hit for 4.
You almost had me at 1 mana, draw a card.
Yeah.
I'm still not picking that. I'm still picking the...
Open fire?
Yeah.
Well, so I am going to pick this, right? Because I think the number of times that I'm going to get to see this card and play with this card and have fun with it is less than I want. So I'm going to pack one, pick it. It's not the right choice. I know for a fact that's not the right choice.
Yeah.
I mean... And I think of the 3 cards here, I think it's the worst. I think it has the lowest potential. But again, it gives me a plan. My plan is now Embalm Eternalize to draw the cards. Because it has that line of text.
Even if they kill it as it comes into play, you still get something in the graveyard for later use.
But it has that line of text,
draw a card. Draw a card, I know. Matt and his draw a card. So, all right. I mean, that right there would set me down a path of white-blue.
Which god is this that you're about to flip over?
The god of Hush Your Mouth. The hollow one. This is the rare for the pack. 5 mana, artifact creature golem. Says hollow one costs 2 less for each card you've cycled or discarded this turn. So 4/4, cycling 2.
So if you cycle 3 cards, it's free.
Yeah.
If you discard 3 cards, it's free.
Yeah.
It's becoming popular already in Standard.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's nice. You gotta build around the discard and cycle.
I mean, it's a 5 mana 4/4 that you don't have to pay color for. It's a safe card. I think. It has cycling on its own, so it's like the most safe card you could possibly pick.
Yeah. It's not a zombie. It's not any of the other
I'm actually gonna
tribal.
pick that over this. Actually, I'm changing my mind completely, and I'm going.
You're going with the
After
Vizier?
seeing that, I'm going with this. Yeah.
You're going with the
You're
Vizier.
going the Vizier
Yeah.
over Open Fire.
I'm
Hollowed One?
I'm still keeping unconventional tactics.
Okay.
So there's that, and then you got a full art island. Look at that. It's basically just full of blood.
In the water.
Yeah. And weird floating rocks in the sky.
Yeah, blood in the water.
Yeah.
Floating
It's not
rocks in the
bad.
sky.
I mean, the sharks are probably loving this.
Yeah. Well, they're dead because they can't really live in it.
I mean, it's still water. It's not like
It was
whole
actual
rivers
blood.
of- is it the whole every ounce of
Oh
water?
yeah, it was killing all the
turned into
fish and
blood?
everything. Yeah.
Oh, sweet. All right. Well then.
So yeah, we are on. Gary and I are taking the Vizier and unconventional tactics.
I really think that unconventional tactics is going to be really good.
I mean, they're both uncommon, so we're not really gonna get a chance to see them all that often.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
all right, that was awesome. That was a lot of fun. Hey, thanks
That
guys.
actually was.
Let's do this weekend recap.
We'll have to. Yeah.
And let's see if
Well,
Matt can actually get through it
another
without
busy week.
screwing it up. All right, so Saturday, we did a draft. We had 2 pods. One was a 6-person pod, which I believe the both of you were in.
I actually don't even remember Saturday.
You weren't there Saturday.
Yeah.
That's
I-
why.
Yeah, because you were going to go play Cards Against Humanity and then passed out. Yep, that's right.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
traded us all.
Yeah.
And then I was in Gary was in the 1 pod. I was in the 7-person pod. Yeah, it would have been 8, but no, someone just decided.
yeah. Somebody's
So we
just
had
a
2
jerk.
We had 2 very new players and it was awesome. And like I like when new players come and they're so new they don't understand the rules of the game and you actually get to coach them through it. You get to slow the game down a little bit.
Yeah.
I find that my technical play gets a little bit better, because helping, like, I learn best teaching.
Yeah.
So that to me was a lot of fun. I helped them. They definitely got better as the games went on. Talked about strategies after the drafts, all that kind of stuff. It was your common white red aggro. Oh my word! Like, I like this set. I think I like Amonkhet. I think it has a lot of options. But man, I just keep drafting these aggro decks. I keep winning, but I'm not having fun with it. Like, I wish somebody else at the table would draft these aggro decks so I can have more fun and give me all the crazy wonky.
Draw cards and things like that.
So if only somebody could pick up the aggro slack for me.
Well, I've been trying to go different colors with it, but yeah.
That's called foreshadowing.
Oh.
I even wrote the word foreshadowing
I
on
know.
there.
I just wanted to ruin that for you.
Oh,
I went Golgari.
Yeah, black green.
And there was a new person on my table that had never drafted, had only played one other time before. So this person basically did not really draft their own deck. It was drafted for them.
right,
They
by
didn't
Andrew.
really even play, but I think they learned a lot from it. I got beat by this person. So,
Right.
That's a shame.
Yeah, and it went long and dragged out, so it's that was even more painful. But it's a new person learning, and it motivated them, so that was kind of worth it. You know what I mean?
Well,
and then
that's good.
second round, I just destroyed this one guy. I mean, just destroyed him. It was like it was fun.
So what did you get in the deck, Gary?
I
mean, you say go
to be honest
Gary.
with you, I think I had this scarab nest going.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Nice
So
little
every
scare.
I did
comes
that
it-
2 times
cycle
in a row.
discard. No, that's the
That's a
minus one.
you
You
have
get
the
one
beetles.
that every
Yeah.
time you do damage to a player, it puts -1/-1 on other creatures.
Oh, the rare.
Yeah, I never got to pull it off. They always killed it for some reason.
Well, yeah, I wonder why. Yeah, because then every time a -1 got put anywhere, you put a 1/1 death touch snake out.
No.
No,
it
that's- Yeah, not the death touch, just
No,
the 1/1
no.
black insect.
Yeah.
Oh,
the scare
you're
one,
talking
not
about
the
the big
creature.
scare beetle, not the
Yeah,
rare.
it's called
The
Scarab
nest, the
Scarab.
enchantment. The enchantment that
There's
just
a
sits
rare
there
that
and
doesn't
then every
have touch
yeah.
one.
Well, no, I mean the card he's talking about. Every time he hits a player, he puts a -1 on all their creatures.
Yeah, that was the flying. It was a.
Oh, the demon one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's terrifying.
Every time you cycle, you put a -1.
No. This is,
Actually, you might
it
be
might
right.
be
Matt.
right. Yeah, I think it is.
And so
I
yeah,
can't
you were
remember
playing.
anyways. None of it worked. It wasn't all.
I was like, wait a minute, that going in the modern deck.
And third round, I ended up playing the. I still got 4th place.
That's not terrible.
Out of, I mean,
4 out of 6.
Yeah, top 4.
All right.
All right, and then so Sunday, I tried to learn a new game called A Distant Plan.
That looked complicated.
It was ridiculously complicated. So it basically is about the war in Afghanistan. So it's between coalition, the local government.
No, it's what?
That made no sense why you laughed there, Gary.
No. It's just funny that you're playing
between
a game
coalition.
over here in play. It's just funny. That's all.
Yeah.
I'm glad somebody thinks so, Gary.
All right, go ahead.
So it's between the coalition,
a good thing you're pretty.
Afghan government, Taliban warlords, the Afghanistan warlords, and the Taliban.
Yeah.
And basically the 4 factions are competing. So the warlords are sort of like frenemies with everybody, and their goal is to make sure nobody wins. They win if nobody wins. The Taliban wins if they get a certain number of points or cause a certain number of injuries to the coalition. Coalition wins when the Taliban is basically wiped out, and the government wins when stability is formed. So it's kind of crazy because the government wants to help, wants the warlords to be nice to them, so they'll backstab the coalition a little bit, but the coalition's money comes from the government, so the coalition has to want the it's very interesting. It's very, very crazy. I think it was a little bit overly complicated. And we definitely didn't have a Sunday, Saturday or Sunday to sit down and just get into the game. We only had a couple hours.
Yeah, we were playing. I think we played 2 games on my little pod of EDH, which was absolute cancer. Never do that again with those 2 players in particular.
I did that afterwards, and I left.
Learned that lesson.
No, I'll do this. You can play this, dude. No, absolutely not. I'm out of here.
And I mean that just brings us to the point we've had before, with somebody goes out and spends quite a bit of money on an EDH deck, and the rest of us are like, we have $5 cards here,
now, I will
$6 cards here.
Spending money doesn't necessarily make it
better, but if you actually have an idea,
how to build well, and you're spending a lot of money.
I mean the deck is effective.
He had cards that cost more than your whole deck twice.
Oh, I know it absolutely, and it's just. He was super proud of it, and I was like, okay, all that's going to happen.
He wanted to play because he never got a chance to play it. So.
Yeah, he was excited.
At least you gave him the chance.
Oh, absolutely.
And then,
I doubt
I'm surprised you just didn't flip the table. And
I was close. Well, I mean, I did. I just left. I think all of us were almost at starting life.
I said I would never play that deck again.
And I mean, we were in about an hour and a half for the second game.
It was Narset. It was a Narset combo spike commander deck.
Yeah,
for casual play.
And then I finally had a way to kind of break the stalemate, and the other person played a flog, and I was like, "Oh, I'm done. I'm not even going to do it."
No shenanigans.
Yeah,
when we
no,
played,
and
Thursday night.
We haven't gotten a Thursday night.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, I won't do that again. I mean, it was an effective deck. No, not going to happen.
Now, can we comment that this is the 3rd time in a row that Gary's come out?
It's amazing. I mean, we should a round of applause for Gary. He's actually come to EDH 3 times in a row.
Yeah, I think it's
amazing.
because we're doing the weekend recap, and
we kept diming him out.
Yeah, basically.
All right, so that was Sunday.
Yeah, and then we also did. By the way, we did a after EDH because everybody else is doing their kind of own things. We did a arch enemy.
Yeah.
And
you guys did.
Which, by the way, Gary, you're gonna need to actually make arch enemy decks. You don't just use the regular ones.
I've
you
already
actually
busted them open and
customize,
incorporated and other
fix
stuff.
them up a little bit.
No, I got you. No. But whatever. We annihilated Nicobolus. It was sad.
Well, that's
okay.
good.
So on Monday we had a last second 6-person pod for draft that we waited and waited.
Oh
and
yeah,
waited
we started
and
at
waited.
9:30.
Yeah, no, it was like
They never started on
9:30.
time. People backed out early.
Oh yeah, no, and then they wanted to watch another silly show rather than
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I waited. I held off watching that so I could draft.
Game of Thrones.
All right, so
I don't watch it until the whole thing's out.
So anyway, we did do a draft.
Yeah.
We had. I actually had a really good time.
Yes.
And it wasn't just because I won.
But you also won.
I did, and
I
it
played
was.
some games in between. I wasn't super tore up that I lost. because I played you first round.
Yeah.
I did Gargari again, and I was trying to do this -1 nest scarab thing again.
Right.
Yeah.
By the way, in one game I did have like 8 of them out.
Yeah, no, we did see your board state. I think that third game, and it was
Yeah,
pretty impressive.
Yeah, it was pretty
Yeah,
good.
that was a new player too. So
Yeah.
and then Matt.
Yeah, Matt is always my scary opponent.
So we were both very aggro. It's just
Yes.
your creatures hit harder than mine do.
Yeah, I ran a very, very heavy white deck. I think I had
Basically, every white
exert creature
exert
that
creature.
I could.
Yeah,
I
and
had,
you were able to do some snaps.
Glory Bound Initiate.
Oh, the
with-
Glory Bound I did get. Yes, I was very surprised. And then I also got the Champion Ronus.
Yeah.
And that thing worked quite a few times. I was able to throw creatures in. I had 4 of the Sparring Mummies to untap everything.
Yeah.
So it worked really, really well. I think I only had 1 loss, and that was to Matt. And
Yeah.
that was because I screwed up one of your
my blocks.
triggers,
You attacked
I
with a
did something
3/2
wrong.
into
I
my
beat you
2/4.
one game.
Did you?
I pulled my Vizier. I remember I had my Vizier, and I was just going to town casting stuff.
You probably
The
did.
green one, because I
Yeah.
thought, this is going to be pretty competitive.
Oh, that's right.
And then the second game,
Yeah, and then
game
the
did
second-
not prove that.
No, not at all. And I actually felt bad for it because I had a new player, my third game, and it couldn't have been any more perfect. Like turn 2, Glory Bound into a turn 4 Champion Ronus into a turn 5 Colossal Sandworm.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I mean it was ugly, and it was both games. And I was like, I feel so bad. And he was a really good sport. He had a decent deck too, actually. Mm-hmm. His was pretty good, but it just the white super aggro came out swinging hard.
How many red cartouches did you get, man?
I had 5.
That was so bonkers.
People put them on the 1/2 unblockable.
Oh,
just like
God.
cartouche. You had 3 of them on them on me.
Yep.
And I'm like, wow. And every time I play a spell, return it to your hand, cancel it, return it to your hand. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me, man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a very heavy red white or red blue
Red blue, yeah.
aggro.
No, that was frustrating.
Right.
I did beat you one game because we went 3.
Yeah.
Just because you didn't have a lot of creatures. So.
Yeah. Yeah. So any
Yeah.
removal spells basically stopped my
Yeah,
deck.
it was a lot of fun.
On Tuesday, the D&D game continued,
Yep.
and basically our party was chasing those cultists that we had mentioned before.
Yeah.
The party had chased the cultists into a much larger city, very Tortuga-esque,
Yeah.
wild and craziness. So, and that's pretty much where we left off, as our characters were beginning to explore Tortuga.
Yeah. Yeah. Of D&D world.
Of D&D world.
Yeah. So hopefully more interesting updates for that next week.
I would love to have more, but I wasn't really paying attention to what was going on.
I mean there were issues.
Out of game issues that were
Out of game issues that
affecting the game.
absolutely. So that was that.
Yeah. And Wednesday night, oh my word.
Oh, Wednesday
night-
was like the perfect storm of horrible stuff.
Okay,
Like
I see.
basically we have 5 people that go now?
Yeah, 5
the
people to
spin
go to the
class?
spin class.
And the first one to drop was Gary.
I told you at lunchtime.
Yeah,
I was
you
like-
didn't tell
said
me
at
until like
lunchtime,
3.
you said you don't want to go, but you are going to go.
Yeah, but then that changed the more I thought about it.
Yeah.
I was
But
just
you said
tired,
you were
dude.
going to go.
I was tired.
Everybody's
I needed to
tired.
clean
But
my
you
room.
said you
I hadn't
were
chatted with my
going to
family
go.
Yeah, but I lied. Just like you guys.
Wow.
Like you lied on this thing.
Like I lied on what? These are notes.
I know you lied on your notes.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are notes. These are my personal
Did you
notes.
see what I put on there?
I did see what you
Anyway, so then the other 2 guys actually, one had an issue that was an existing type thing, and so he said he wanted to take the night off just to make sure it healed properly. And the
So
other
we
guy
didn't
had-
aggravate it more.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it's a smart thing to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that spin class is pretty intense. The other guy had a pounding headache, not really sure why, and so he was just really tired, and he did the same thing. I had actually almost passed out earlier that day,
Okay.
and
Oh, yeah.
You
that
were
was
like
that day.
The napper for the
No.
No.
He means actual passed out.
I came back from the gym that day, and
Oh.
I went through the gate, and as I was walking,
eat.
everything just started spinning,
You had
and
enough food in you.
Right.
yeah, I hadn't had a chance to eat that morning because of work stuff, and so I mean, it looked like I was drunk. Like I didn't try to talk, but I kept looking, and I was like, "What is the matter with me?" And I was back and forth along the sidewalk. I had to grab a stop sign to
Man.
keep from falling over. And so I was like, I really don't want to go because I'm gonna pass out at spin class. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna suck it up. I'm gonna do this. And Matt was the only one. He was super excited about it.
Yeah.
And we got to the gym, and both the ladies who run the class are on leave.
And it's closed.
Yeah, and it was closed. And it was
Not
like,
our fault.
yeah, it was like the universe said, thanks for the dedication. Go have a night out on us.
Yeah.
And I already had the what do they call that? Basically, I knew something. It wasn't
Yeah,
enough for
whatever.
me to go.
Stop talking. You know nothing.
So instead, we went and played Dragon
Quest
Minecraft.
Builders.
Yeah, you were back here. You were there and playing over there and over here too.
No.
Somewhere?
As soon as we found that out, we were back over
late,
here.
and I was like, dude, man, like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You playing that damn Battleship game again? And then I was like, like, oh no, there was no spin class.
yeah, because I just didn't tell anybody until like the next day. But yeah, we sat and Matt and I hung out in my room and played Dragon Quest Builders.
So it was a long, exhausting night.
Absolutely.
Playing Dragon Quest
Gotcha.
Builder,
'Cause,
Gary.
The
we
way
had
you
to
put
start
it-
over.
The way I put what? That's notes.
Long
we went
and
to
exhausting
spin
night.
class every. Okay.
We went to the spin class.
Liars.
Everyone else
I
bailed.
wrote liars and all that.
Yeah.
And it was a long, exhausting night. It was a long, exhausting night because we played that game. Oh, and then the dude came by to help set up your internet.
Yeah, and that was super late.
Yep.
Like he ended up leaving. Like he came at like 12:30, and then was like, "All right, well, I'll be back to check it and make sure everything works at before 2:30."
Yeah.
And I was like, "I got to be up at 7." I was like, "Yeah, sure, because internet is important out here." So yeah, I did not get much sleep that night. So on to Thursday.
All right, so on to Thursday. We did the Shadows of Estrin. So that was last night,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Because today's Friday.
it is.
My brains are scrambled.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we did Shadows over Estrin, and it was a 1 part research, 1 part assassination, 1 part getting ambushed by brigands, and 1 part monster chase that never actually fully. We are being chased by a bunch of monsters. So
I don't even think it's a bunch. I think it might be just one.
yeah, well, okay, yeah, one giant. Maybe it is a bunch.
Oh, jeez.
1 giant monster came out of the woods. So we were looking for this guy Talarian. Talesian.
Yeah.
Yeah, Talarian something else. We were looking for a Talesian. And we finally found him in his little encampment.
Yeah.
And he was trying to research basically the same thing we were.
In a roundabout way.
Yeah, in a roundabout way. Like, he didn't know it.
Yeah.
We found out that the flux was what was making everybody sick in the village.
Yeah, which is a material used for powering machines in this world.
Think whale punk from...
Whale punk?
Well, whale punk is what they call it in Dishonored.
Oh, okay.
That they call it whale punk because
I
whale.
played. Anyway, so,
yeah, whale oil powers everything. So
Okay.
it's a whale punk substance that powers everything. Anyway, it's been mixed in the water, and so it's like a oil.
it's a toxin.
Yeah, it's like an oil, and then people are consuming it, getting sick.
Like PVCs or whatever those things are called.
I know what that is. So.
Yeah, no, that's like when the water bottles are left in the car and it starts to melt. Yeah, it's a chemical. Basically, it's if you diluted oil really spread out in water, you can't see it, but if you drink it, you still get sick and eventually die. That's what's happening in this world.
Yeah.
And so we found that out, and we're making our way closer to the source.
Well, and the actual researcher himself got sick.
Yeah, and I don't think he realized it.
No, he did not know he was getting sick, but he started going crazy and then needed to be put down because...
Well, yeah, what had happened is we found him, and he just kind of brushed past all of us, and I asked him about the particular substance that he was obviously researching, and he stopped and tried to lie to us all, and he was just being belligerent and didn't want to cooperate, and he tried to yell for his guards, and at which point our lovely assassin Crombopulus sheathed another dagger in another skull, and ended all resistance in a quick, fast, and hurry.
Is this the same game with your character kills the hobo, or is that?
Yeah.
By the way, the artwork your sister did was amazing.
Yeah,
Yes,
the
it
artwork is amazing. So if you were
this
watching,
artwork?
Yes.
yeah,
yes.
if she's
This
watching,
artwork.
that is fantastic.
I'll give you a copy of the artwork.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then after that, we went and kind of, I don't know what did we. Oh, they went and stole the guy's machine.
Yeah.
Because
he was dead.
Yeah.
And the guards that he had basically were hired guards,
Yeah.
and they walked away.
Yeah, pretty much.
The
And then
research
his-
assistant was sort of dumbfounded, and he just came on the cart with us.
Yeah, and then we stole his machine.
Yep.
Broke it in the process. And,
Yep.
And then
So as we were going up to, because we still need to find the source of the flux, whatever's poisoning
Yes.
the water, We got ambushed by brigands.
Yep.
And some people tried to escape.
Yeah.
And some people tried to surrender.
And then some people threw my extremely expensive electro gauntlet into the woods.
Hey, natural ones happen.
Yeah, natural ones happen.
I was
you
trying
need
to
that
hide
shirt.
it. I was trying to hide it.
And so in the midst of all this, the wagon decided, screw this, I'm out, and left us all there.
Yep.
And then shortly thereafter, we hear a giant crash. And these guys are, 20 feet up in the tree, he said?
15, 20 feet, yeah.
Yeah, and then the closest guy next to the crash, we saw a giant thing reach up and snatch him out like he was a piece of candy.
Well, not even reach up, just reach over.
Oh,
that was
yeah.
how he described it. Yeah, just reached over and crushed him.
Yeah, so we're all going to run.
We're running, yeah.
I'm not even super worried about my gauntlet, but it's going to be interesting to see how that pans out because, I mean, he did a really, really good job with the way the story went. And the game is getting more and more fun as we play it.
Yes, definitely, 100%.
Yeah.
No,
So
while y'all were doing that, I was not too far from your location with 6 other people doing EDH.
Nice.
Oh, that's cool.
Did you actually do a six-man pod?
I walked into a 6-man game. And I was like, "You want to do 7?" I'm like, no. So I did a 1-on-1, a 3-player, or 4-player, and then a 3-player in that
Okay.
way. So I
That's
tried
not
out my
terrible.
sliver deck.
Yeah, because you just built a brand new sliver deck.
Yeah. How'd it do?
Actually, it's really good. There was one game I totally should have won, and I was just overwhelmed and was in conversation a lot because I was having fun, and I got a little distracted. Totally, obviously won the game, and then,
Just threw it away.
And then I was like, Pastor, oh wait, no,
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I forgot. It just when everything's can only be blocked by slivers. When everything's got haste. When everything's got vigilance. When everything's got tap this, they get plus X plus O for every sliver. When every sliver already has X, and they all got haste. Yeah, it's
So basically, what I'm hearing is that we need to get Gary a little whiteboard when he plays a complicated deck, so he can write down what's going on.
Pretty much. Now, I just gotta take my time. I gotta be that slow player.
Oh, don't do that. God, don't do that.
Oh well, the games will go quicker. So, but the mana base of it was pretty nice. I got a new. Can't think of the name of it now.
Dual land?
What's the green black dual land?
Bayou?
Bayou, yeah, I got a Bayou in the other day. Real good shape too.
Well, that's good.
So I've got 8 dual lands in there, 10 fetch lands. It kind of does its thing.
good.
I don't have a mana issue, so
That's good.
and that's the only reason it's expensive, really. But
Also, shout out to Okay, so shout out to Gary real fast. If you notice our nice new little handy dandy
you
headset
notice
that we're wearing.
red, white, and blue, America.
Yeah.
Or France or Russia, depending on where you are.
Or Poland, wasn't it? No, not
Poland is just the
This
dual
would
life.
be the Czech Republic, though.
There you go. That's the other one.
their color.
Yeah.
If it was
then-
just you two, it would be Polish.
Oh, okay.
Or just the two of us, Canada.
Yeah. I like Canada.
Flags of the world.
So, and then there's also some new bits down here that hopefully make everything a little nicer
we
on your
basically
end.
got this thing amplified.
Yeah, so we can hear
Yeah,
actually
we
better.
can all turn
Yeah.
our own individual headphone volumes up to what
Yeah,
we like.
so
Well, we
like
better
this.
stop talking about this because you can't talk about
Oh,
podcasts
yeah.
on podcasts.
Okay.
We don't talk about podcasts on the podcast.
And
We're
then-
obviously breaking rule 1.
And I still haven't got the issue fixed.
Wait,
The
did you hit record?
the adapter I got in there. Yes, I here's how I know I'm recording now because I was thinking that about the recording.
Oh,
the way through,
jeez.
is if it's still on, it's recording. It would shut off on its own if it wasn't.
Oh my god.
Well, this is how he interrupted the podcast last time to go up and check.
Yeah, no, and it's super easy because he gets super self-conscious about it and be like, "Is that thing recording?" You know, I mean, we could go in there and change the settings.
You see me squinting earlier, like looking at the thing real intense.
No, but now we will.
So, you can follow us at the underscore BAFDraft on Twitter,
Yes.
and just look up the BAFDraft, no spaces, on SoundCloud or iTunes, and that's where you can find our audio podcast. And obviously, if you're watching this, you're on YouTube.
Yeah.
So so we're that's it for the week.
Yeah, thank you guys very much.
Tap out, and we will see you guys next week. Y'all have a good weekend, whatever day you watch this. So,
Hi, Olivia. Hi, Aiden.
I want to give a shout out to.
I'm just doing a raw shout out.